Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, sa buong Pilipinas, sa buong mundo na nanonood po sa Facebook Live, dito sa Department of Agriculture. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Kasama po si Assistant Secretary Christine Evangelista.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, sa mga kasamahan po namin dito sa BSWM at mga nanonood po, those who are celebrating with us online. Good morning and thank you for joining us.
Sige po, yung mga nasa kanya-kanyang bahay, pasensya na po at may seremonya kami. Pwede rin po kayong tumayo dyan sa bahay ninyo.
Tama.
Okay, before we start the program, may we invite everyone to stand up for the invocation to be followed by the singing of the national anthem. May we call on our host, Bureau of Soils and Water Management Director, Sonia Salguero, to lead us in prayer. Sorry po. Assistant Director Rosana Mula of the Agricultural Training Institute, ATI, to lead us in prayer. Sorry, Kamsat.
Director.
And bow our heads. So, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering all of us today in this important event. So important because this day marks the beginning of greater challenges for our servant leader, no other than Secretary William Dar, Aka Manong Willie, and of the entire DA family. Please bestow upon him all the blessings of good deeds and decisions he deserves, including the happiness of his family. With the unending passion of our beloved Secretary to serve the people, allow me to share to you a quote from Corinthians 2, chapter 9, verse 7. Each one must give as he has decided in his heart, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. As we are asked to keep our physical distance from one another, may this pandemic bring us closer to you and to each other spiritually. We pray especially for those whose health and livelihoods are threatened by this pandemic. For those already isolated, lonely, and scared, loving God, pour out your infinite love, grace, and compassion. We are seeking your divine guidance for us to be the light for the people in need during these trying times. Bless us to share whatever we have for your greater glory and honor your beautiful creation, the earth and its fruits. We pray that you heal our land so that we may heal as one. As this we pray in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Kindly remain standing for our national anthem to be led by Bureau of Soils Water Management Director Sonia Salguero.
Ilagay po natin ang ating kamay sa kaliwang dibdib at sabay-sabay po tayong umawit ng pambansang awit.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Salamat po. Palakpakan po natin si Director Sonia Salguero at Director Ana Mula. So, again, magandang araw po sa ating lahat, magandang umaga sa ating lahat, Pilipinas at sa buong mundo na nanonood ngayon sa Facebook Live ng Department of Agriculture. Partner?
Magandang umaga, Asek Noel, at magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat, especially sa ating servant leader, Secretary William Dar. Good morning, sir.
Okay. Today, exactly a year ago, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte administered the oath-taking ceremony of our beloved Secretary, William Dar, at Malacanang Palace. Okay. At kasabay mo rin siya, di ba?
Yes.
Anniversary mo rin. Actually, para sa iyo to, imbitado lang sa Secretary, no?
Oo, salamat sa celebration. Na-touch ako. Pero, sir, anniversary ko niya yan. Pero anniversary ng bida natin, which is the servant leader, na siya po ang the man behind where DA is today. So, ngayon sinabi na natin bakit tayo nag-celebrate. Hindi po dahil anniversary ko, kundi
buong pamilya ng Department of Agriculture. At to start the program, may we invite our Undersecretary for Operations, Engineer Ariel Kayanan, to give us the opening message.
Thank you, ASEC Ed, ASEC K. With your permission, baka po kasi hindi maintindihan, nakadistansya naman ako. Tatanggalin ko lang yung face mask. Of course, to the Secretary, to the senior officials, the undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, and the other directors here in the Bureau of Soils and Water Management Conference Room or Conference Hall. Distinguished guests, fellow workers from our central and regional offices, bureaus and attached agencies, friends and allies from industries and other sectors, members of the media, of course, who has been one way or another helping us to orient, brief our stakeholders, also our listeners and viewers on social media from various parts of this country and possibly because of the power of technology, other parts of the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and thank you for joining us as we mark the first year in the office of our indefatigable servant leader, Secretary William Dar, popularly known as Manong Willie. Palakpakan naman po natin. Well, the challenge of his leadership phase for the past 12 months were indeed unprecedented. Imagine, from the outbreak of the African swine fever, ASF, the high prices of rice and low farm gate prices of palay and copra, to crop damage due to typhoons, eruption of Taal, volcano, and of course, the COVID pandemic, which is just recent, na normal now, ay talaga pong napakabigat na challenge po yun. And personally, when I first met him in this conference room, I could only say, I do not know if the Secretary still remember, lumapit po ako sa kanya sa harapan, sabi ko, Mr. Secretary, one, congratulations, and number two, Mr. Secretary, good luck. The Secretary may not know why did I told him those, what they call pleasantry, but congratulations because that is a much deserved and earned, what they call position given to him by the President, and good luck. As I mentioned, the enormous things that needs to be done, the challenges that needs to be what they call addressed with the little time given to us. We only have 24 hours. And lastly, scarce resources. And everybody knows that. Kanya yung pong congratulations, that is a much deserved and earned what they call position, at yung good luck po talaga pong kailangan. And then the passion of the Secretary will complement everything. So the pressure on the department particularly became heavier during the second quarter of 2020. Hindi pa po pala tapos yun, nag-uumpisa pa lang. When the national government imposed community quarantine nationwide to arrest the spread of COVID-19, resulted in the disruptions in the country's food production and supply chain. And we are pleased to note that in such a critical time, his leadership provided much needed direction and focus that allowed us in the department to turn this difficult situation into so much what we call opportunities that strengthen the underpinnings of the Philippine agriculture. In fact, more recognition happened to the department, and we were even bragged, not only as what they call passionate government worker, the more appropriate one, we were level 2 being frontliners. Palakpakan naman po natin ating kalihim. And I personally, I have witnessed it in different IATF, what they call presentation. He has been rallying the organization and the agri-fishery behind the plant program that envisions to lead the nation's economic recovery onto the new norm. The proof, it is not a concept, it's a real proof. It was even part of the statement of the President during his SONA. Hindi po ba dapat palakpakan po natin ang kalihim dun? With it comes the renewed appreciation for agriculture as a vital service to ensuring the welfare of citizens during crisis and a non-crisis condition. And with God's grace, if there will be a new norm, and I'm sure there will be, alam na po natin kung anong upskill na gagawin. We are particularly happy about the newfound popularity of the urban and backyard gardening in many parts of the country. Siguro naman po, wala na pong hindi nakakaalam sa kadiwa ni Ani at Kita. Palakpakan din po natin. No less than the President Rodrigo Roa Duterte himself highlighted the critical role of a robust agriculture sector in the growth and revival of our economy post-COVID-19, pushing Philippine agriculture into limelight in the remaining 2 years of the current administration. We will continue to take on this huge challenge with Secretary Dar at the helm to fulfill our mandate on our vision of a food secure and resilient Philippines, of course, with prosperous farmers and fisher folks. Likewise, we thank our partners, particularly the private sector, local government units, and the farmers and fisher folks groups, some of us of whom are with us today, who join us in addressing these issues and concerns. This particular morning, we will listen to our Secretary's report, the State of the Philippine Agriculture Report, and lay down our game plan for the coming months and the remaining 2 years of the Duterte administration, knowing that the Secretary always have that instinct, the quick response action or the QRF action, and the refocus action as and when it is needed. Mahal namin pong kalihim, kami pong mga opisyal kasama ng mga kawani ng kagawaran ay sumasaludo sa inyong pambihirang sipag, hinahon, tiyaga at talino sa pamumuno ng kagawaran at paggabay sa sektor ng sakahan at pangisda. And personally, allow me to impress, it has been my experience to the Secretary. He directs, guides, and trusts us, not only because of what he believes, but also of what we have done or what we did. So that is a very fair Secretary. Makakaasa po kayo ng patuloy at ibay po naming suporta at pakikisa sa dikahin ng masaganang ani at mataas na kita. Mulit-muli po, happy anniversary, Mr. Secretary, and to the DA for his first year. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Ariel Kayanan. Palakpakan po natin ulit si Yusek Ariel. Napakahalaga ng papel na ginagampanan niya sa operations po. At nagpapatakbo ng ating mga regional offices sa buong bansa. At again, ito po, next part po, maliban kay bumati na, nauna nang bumati si Yusek Ariel. Pero meron pang maraming gustong bumati kay Secretary. At ito po, tunghayan niyo po yung mga nagpadala po na kanilang mga messages, binidyo na lang po namin at hindi sila makakarating dito dahil sa ating kalagayan ngayon. So, roll.
Secretary William Dar, congratulations. You are celebrating your first year anniversary as Secretary of Agriculture. you've been part of the Go Negosyo Agri family for quite some time, and definitely you have been an inspiration to many of our farmers. The challenges are, of course, we really have to get our farmers to think like entrepreneurs, and hopefully we can help them develop their skills and identify the kind of agri-negosyo that they can do, and be productive as they move back to the provinces, rather than not do anything in the provinces. So again, Secdar, congratulations and happy first anniversary.
On the first year of your appointment as Secretary, we are one with you, Secretary Dar, and the Department of Agriculture stakeholders in greeting you a happy anniversary. We are one with you in expressing our appreciation and support to you and your vision to achieve a food-secure and resilient Philippines with progressive farmers and fisherfolk. We look forward to mainstreaming the social entrepreneurship strategy to achieve this vision. Mabuhay ang ating pagtutulungan para maiahon sa kahirapan ng ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda.
In behalf of the officers and members of National Federation of Hog Farmers Inc. Philippines, we'd like to greet our good Secretary Dr. William Manong Willie Dar and your whole team on your very first year as our Secretary of Department of Agriculture. May we continue to work together hand in hand for the betterment of our agri-livestock fisheries in general. So again, thank you very much, mabuhay, and God bless us all.
Sec Willie, kung sariwa pa sa iyong alaala, ako ay isa dun sa kauna-unahang personalidades mula sa pribadong sektor na sumalubong sa iyo nung unang araw ng pag-upo mo bilang kalihim ng kalooban. Aking dasal lang ay sana magbigyan mo ng tamang atensyon ang pagpapaunlad ng malaking kakulangan sa exports, ang tamang pagbabalanse ng ating mga inaangkat sa ibang bayan, at ang ating Aspire program. Mabuhay ka sa iyong unang anibersaryo.
On your first year as our leader and Secretary of Agriculture, gusto ko pa lamang ihatid sa iyo ang pagsasalamat ng buong industriya for all your efforts to help the industry. In our case, in URC, you have been instrumental in approving and maintaining our MAV program for potatoes. This has enabled us to continue our programs to help all the potato farmers throughout the Philippines. You've also been instrumental in guiding the hog industry through our challenges with African swine flu. And your steadfast leadership has also enabled the sugar industry to continue to grow despite the economic difficulties throughout the world. Salamat po, Secretary Dar. We're here to support you and your programs all the way.
To our dear Secretary Dar, Secretary of Agriculture, I was there during your inauguration last year. I have witnessed all your projects as president of PCCI. I have also seen our project together, Aspire. Definitely, it has grown and it was proven during the last COVID. We have seen all your products all over Metro Manila, especially with your Kadiwa. Wishing you more blessings and success.
Isa po ako sa mga mapalad na magsasakang nakatanggap ng libreng binhi at abono na pinagkaloob ng pinamumunuan yung ahensya. Napakalaking tulong po nito sa akin at sa aking pamilya. Lalo na ngayon na nasa panahon tayo ng pandemya. Secretary William Dar, hiling ko po ay magkakaroon ka ng katatagan, kaligayahan at nag-uumapaw ng mga biyaya. Mabuhay po kayo.
Po, mahal naming sekretaryo, sa unang anibersaryo po ng inyong pag-upo bilang isang sekretaryo ng agrikultura. Maraming salamat po at naway tumagal po kayo para mas lalo nyo po kaming matulungan sa aming mga gawain ng pagsasaka. Maraming salamat po, mahal naming sekretaryo, at mabuhay po kayo.
Daghang salamat, Secretary William Dar, sa programa nga Plant, Plant, Plant nga nakasustinar ka na.
Your tireless effort to help us be the best we can be, Secretary William Dar. At mula po sa 1,600 na kabarangay namin dito sa Santa Victoria, nais po naming magpasalamat sa Departamento ng Agrikultura at batiin ng Panginoon at patuloy na bigyan ng magandang kalusugan. Happy first year.
Okay, marami pong mensahe at isa pong mensahe ay isa sa mga kaibigan, naging kaibigan ni Secretary Dar. Walang iba kundi si Mr. Ramon Ang ng San Miguel Corporation. Babasahin ko na lang po dahil sila po ay naka-quarantine din ngayon, naka-lockdown ng San Miguel. So, paumanhin sila at hindi nakapagpadala ng video message, and yet ito po ang kanyang written message, and allow me to read. Despite the challenging situation that we find ourselves in today because of the global pandemic, I could not let the significance of your first full year back at the Department of Agriculture pass. Congratulations, Secretary. Thank you for all the good things that you have done this past year. There have been many. Your steady leadership, genuine malasakit for our farmers, humility, and earnest hard work through what is easily one of the most difficult times in our nation's recent history has truly made a difference in the lives of many across the nation. I cannot imagine anyone better suited to lead the Department of Agriculture during this unprecedented time. I am personally grateful to you for all the help you and your team have extended to San Miguel Corporation, which allowed us to reach and help even more farmers nationwide. We look forward to continuing our partnerships and taking on even more meaningful and worthwhile projects with your Department of Agriculture. Thank you and congratulations again. Sincerely, Ramon S. Ang. So, meron po tayong mga video message, part 2 naman po, at mga kaakibat po, at sila po ang gumagabay din sa atin dito sa Department of Agriculture sa pamumuno ni Secretary William Dar. Panoorin po natin.
On behalf of the One Defense team, I congratulate Secretary William Dar for his very productive and fruitful year at the Department of Agriculture. Ang inyong serbisyo ay nagpagaan sa buhay ng ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda, na naging daan naman sa pagpapanatili ng kapayapaan at seguridad sa bansa. Cheers to your good health and many successes ahead.
Hello, congratulations to our dear partner in agri-industry development and my partner in agribusiness development, Secretary Willie, Secretary Dar. Congratulations on your 1-year anniversary in the Department of Agriculture. We're really so fortunate and happy that you are in the DA, taking the leadership. We believe in your very dynamic programs. Napakadami na kaagad just in 1 year. More power to you and good luck din sa ating mga collaboration. So, congratulations.
Binabati ko ang ating kalihim ng kagawaran ng pagsasaka, Secretary Manong Willie Dar, sa ika-unang anibersaryo ng inyong pagkakatalaga bilang pinuno ng kagawaran ng pagsasaka. Lubos ang aming pagkilala sa inyong napakagandang ambag na binibigay po sa ating mga magsasaka at gayon rin sa ating mga mangingisda. Patuloy po kaming naniniwala na sa inyong liderato na inyong magagawa at makakamit ang inyong napakagandang bisyon upang iangat ang kabuhayan ng ating mga mangingisda at saka ng ating pong mga magsasaka. Mabuhay po kayo, Manong Willie. Thank you very much sa inyong mga pagsuporta at asahan ninyo na ang Kongreso ay nasa likod po ng inyong mga magagandang hangarin pa para sa atin pong industriya ng agrikultura.
Happy anniversary, Secretary Dar.
God bless you, Sec. It's really good to have you back in the Department of Agriculture. Yung decades of experience, yung networking, yung contact. But more than that, yung integrity that you bring to the department. Please continue to doing the good work. Unfortunately, parating farmers na natataken for granted at na-take advantage of. But with you there, hindi lang yung rural areas, pati yung urban farming na pinaglalaban mo for the last 20 years, I'm sure magaganap. So, ang daming nagawa in this 1 year. We're looking forward to the next year na talagang
especially with Secdar at the helm of the DA. Asahan niyo ang Kongreso, let us know what we can do, what you need, the programs that we have to put together, and of course your budget. God bless you.
I'd like to congratulate and greet a happy anniversary to Secretary William Dar. You've been 1 year in office as Secretary of Agriculture. You've been doing a great job, sir. Please keep up the good work. And I know you're fighting for our Filipino farmers. I know it's in your heart and in your soul that you want to continue helping our Filipino farmers grow and that we buy Filipino agricultural products for our people. So, Secretary, once again, happy anniversary, and I hope that God blesses you throughout your life and through all your endeavors. Mabuhay po, sir. Happy anniversary.
Allow me to greet Secretary Willie Dar and the DA family. Very happy anniversary. I understand it's your first year anniversary as Secretary. Hindi po ito madaling panahon para sa ating mga magsasaka at ating mga kababayan. But I'm sure your team and yourself at the DA will be up to the task of assisting our countrymen in their time of need. Mabuhay po ang DA, mabuhay po kayo, Secretary Willie. God bless.
Good friend Secretary William Dar, who is celebrating his first anniversary as Secretary of the Department of Agriculture. My congratulations. I'm very happy to have a partner in you as we institute the needed reforms in the agriculture sector, especially the measures that will enhance the competitiveness of our farmers and fisher folks. I look forward to working with you for many more years as we help the farmers produce more and earn more so that they will continue to support our goal for food security. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ka, Secretary Dar.
Marami pa pong gustong bumati kay Secretary at hindi na po namin napagkasya dito sa video na ito at matutunghayan po natin sila sa ating Facebook ng Department of Agriculture, yung full na greeting nila kay Secretary. So i-replay po namin yan, ilo-load po namin, i-upload po namin sa Facebook ang Department of Agriculture. Meanwhile, meron lang po tayong kasing ang pinaka-guest of honor po natin ngayon ay walang iba kundi si Secretary Carlos Dominguez ng Finance. At dati po siyang Secretary of Agriculture. Kaya marami po lang siyang meeting, nakikiusap siya na habang hinihintay natin ang pagkakataon makapiling siya virtually, ay gusto kong tawagan ang iba pang kasama natin sa Department of Agriculture. Kanina nakapagsalita na si Jose Carrier. So, may I call on other senior officials of the Department of Agriculture, led off by our Chief of Staff, no less. Cheryl Caballero. Natibidad siya. Yan po, Kabsat. Yan po. At kami po, actually, anniversary din namin sa team na ito. So, let's welcome Yusek Ching Caballero, our Chief of Staff.
Maraming salamat, Asek Noel. Magandang umaga, Pilipinas! Magandang umaga po, Secretary Dar at sa ating mga kasamahan sa agrikultura. Isang mapagpalang araw sa ating lahat. Napaka-importante nung araw na ito dahil bukod sa ating pagsasama-sama sa pagsalubong ng panibagong taon ng pag-asa at pagtutulungan, ang kahalagahan din nung presensya ng ating Secretary William Dar ay isang pagbibigay pugay sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Alam natin na sa panahon ng pandemya, madaming mga challenges at paghihirap, pero nandun pa rin ang ating buong kalooban na to overcome these difficulties. And with you around, sa inyong pakikipagtulungan, pakikipag-ugnayan at commitment, hindi natin ito isasaalang-alang na hindi ma-overcome ang mga challenges na ito. It's part of life, challenges happen, and we look forward to a very positive attitude. Because sabi nga nila, if we're down, how down can we become? And so, we lift up the spirit of everyone, and of course, ask for our divine providence to guide us, because in times of pandemic or even in times of challenges, we always have to reflect amidst the noises and amidst the difficulties in life. We are here as a people, united, helping one another, and being inspired by a very good leader. Medyo emotional. So anyways, having said that, we enjoin everyone to continue the support, love, and dedication to your craft. And we look forward to a lot of working together and overcoming the challenges, as well as bringing in the light of hope, innovation, positivities in life. So, ayokong pangunahan yung makikita natin mamaya na napakahalaga at napakaganda. So, pagtulong-tulungan po nating iahon ang ating agrikultura at pangistaan, at naway kasihan tayo ng may kapal ng masaganang ani at mataas na kita. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga po sa ating lahat.
Susunod naman po si Yusek RB Visera. Kapsat. Yes. Yung pa pong mga Yusek mag-ready na po. Si Yusek Sam, Yusek Evelyn, Yusek Ed Angona. So, Yusek RB Visera. Part pa po siya ng team natin na kasama ni Secretary na nagsilbi itong nakaraang taon.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. Alam po ninyo, 3 taon na nakakaraan, kasama po ako sa isang maliit na study team na inorganize po ni Coach Ching para sa Inang Lupa movement that was headed then by Secretary Dar. At meron po kaming mga kasama dun sa study team na 3 mga professionals din na galing sa India. Ang na-observe ko po doon sa aming study team ay napakataas na respeto. No, beyond that. It was reverence, I believe, para sa ating servant leader, who was then, nung kasama nila siya sa Ikrisat, their own leader. At yun po ay isang bagay na tumatak po sa aking mga obserbasyon ngayon. At nakita ko rin po sa isang taon nakasama natin siya dito sa departamento na isang nakaka-inspire na leader. At dapat po nating tulungan sa kanyang mga gustong gawin at magawa para sa hindi lang sa sektor kundi sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Kaya Secretary, congratulations po sa inyong unang taon. Pero alam ko po na napakarami pa ninyong gustong gawin at magawa sa ating sektor ng mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po, Yusek Harvey. At tawagan naman po natin si Yusek Evelyn Lavinia. Siya po ay in charge sa ating high-value crops. At kasama rin natin sa team.
Thank you, Noel. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. At ako'y nagagalak. Sa totoo lang, ang lalim ng mga Tagalog, no? So I will try, even if I come from Mindanao. So, nagagalak talaga ako ngayong umaga dahil naka 1 year na pala tayo. Ang iksi-iksi, parang ang bilis-bilis, ang ibig ko sabihin. At marami na tayong na-accomplish. And I'm so proud to be part of the team. And so, just hearing out a week ago, the lament of there will be a new secretary again or something, it's really bad for the Department of Agriculture. When in fact, the one heading us now is really the dream and having a dream team. And I'm very proud to be part of it because reading to it, yung aking tinext sa kanyang umaga, before I became the Undersecretary for here and having experience in the national, we were thinking of really for him to be part of our consultant for the agri-sector in Davao City. So I don't know him, but a lot of good things has been said about him from India. So meeting him for the first time in Ilocos was really like meeting an actor or artista. Kaya lang nahiya ako katabi ko siya, hindi ako nakapasign ng autograph. So this morning, this is how I feel coming from a private sector, and this is what I texted him. Yehey, you did well said. I will always be at your side, positively supporting a dream of the farmers and the fisher folks, which once I was one of them and will always be. All that you are looking forward to is what we were dreaming of, modernization, industrialization, and infradev for a better ani at kita sa sarili, family, and the rest would follow better market for inter-island and export. I pray for your good health, peace of mind, quality time with your family in between work. Congratulations, cheers, and we heal as one. And Sec, I will always be here. Thank you.
Thank you po, Yusek Evelyn. And may I call in Engineer Sam Ampatuan, our Undersecretary for Infrastructure and Regulations. Siya po ay kasama rin sa team na na-appoint itong pag-upo ni Secretary William Dar. Yusek.
Thank you, Asik Noel. Good morning, everyone. Peace be with you. First and foremost, I would like to congratulate our dear Secretary William Dar, Manong Willie. It has been a good year for you in the Department of Agriculture. Personally, I would like to thank you. You have guided me, and your wisdom have helped me do my task as Undersecretary for Regulations and Infrastructure. I have always stayed close to your vision, sir, for Philippine agriculture, as I do the work you have designated me because I believed in that vision. I also affirm your integrity as a public official. The past 1 year of agriculture under your care has been dynamic. The onset of the pandemic showed your skill your sagacity as a leader. You did effective crisis management of the agriculture sector. Your capacity to listen as a leader is one thing that to me is a key element that makes DA thread a path of achievement as all are brought into your wagon of priorities, thus reaching our right destination as one arc, the Department of Agriculture arc, committed public servants. The rest of the term of President Rodrigo Duterte, where you will be serving as Secretary of Agriculture, will indeed usher a new stage for agriculture sector. Thank you, sir, for the 1 year of committed service, and we will all be working behind you as the leader, as a servant leader of farmers, fisher folks, and the Filipino people. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. May we call on Asek Ed Lungona of Bureau of Fisheries, please, followed by Asek Willie Medrano.
Good morning, Sir Sek, and good morning to everybody. I just want to be very candid here. When I entered the Department of Agriculture, wala po akong alam. So, nung panahon ni Secretary Manny Piñol, natuto po ako. And then, lalo po akong natuto nang mapasok po kayo. And I really would like to thank that I'm a learned person when it comes to food production. And so with that, I'd like to congratulate you, sir, for being an educator, for being a leader, and everything that could really push the sector of agriculture to its level that is expected. But lastly, I like to congratulate myself to have adopted and have survived your leadership. Thank you very much.
Kasama rin po natin sa team si Asek Willie Medrano. Siya po ang in charge sa livestock program. So, yan po, kakasama kami. At siya po ay dati ring Bureau of Agricultural Research Director at sa CHED Executive Director. So, Asek Willie.
Thank you, Asek Noel, and to everybody. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to salute and give my congratulations to my idol. Okay, congratulations, sir. Our relationship with our very good secretary started during our days at UP Los Baños, where then we stayed in one dormitory, and of course with activities as Ilocanos. But I would like to mention at this point that our very good secretary has been very instrumental in my career, in my professional growth, sa lahat ng napuntaan kong mga government agencies at the APAR, even at CHED. So napakalaking utang ko kay Secretary. At alam naman natin that our beloved Secretary started his early career at the State University, from Benguet State University. And hanggang ngayon, I would like to mention that our very good secretary has been very close to all the state universities and colleges in our country. In fact, kahit nandun sa India, as Director General of ICRISAT, tuloy-tuloy po yung engagement niya with the state universities and colleges. In fact, he was awarded 8 honoris causa. I think that is unprecedented in the history of CHED. No? 8 honoris causa given by state universities and colleges of the country. It has been very active in the conduct of management review of state universities, leading search for presidency hanggang ngayon. And of course, in all his engagement with the state universities and colleges in various capacities, palagi agriculture and fishery ang ina-advocate niya, especially the national agriculture and fishery education system. And in fact, if we look at history, during his first term, siya po ang pumirma doon sa IRR ng AHMA natin. So, I would like to express my sincerest thanks and gratitude to you, sir, for the trust and confidence. And I am very, very happy and proud to be part of a winning team under your strong, effective, and dynamic leadership. So in behalf of the National Livestock Program, the 4 livestock agencies, nandyan si Director Ronnie Domingo, Director Rildrin Morales, Administrator Marilyn Mabale, and Dr. Arnel Del Barrio of PCC. Okay. Lahat po kami ay committed, loyal to the department, and we will continue to work with you, especially during these trying times. We commit our services to the department under your leadership. With that, once again, congratulations, sir, in a very successful 1-year stint as the Secretary of Agriculture.
Just ginay kapsat, Asek Willie. So, pakinggan po natin ang ating isa pang supporter na sa Senado, at siya po ang ating kaibigan ng lahat. Okay. So,
congratulations, Secretary William Dar, on your first year anniversary in the Philippine agriculture sector. I commend you for leading the country toward food secured and resilient Philippines. Kahanga-hanga ang inyong ipinamalas na pagmamalasakit sa sektor. Kaya naman hangad ko na patuloy kang gabayan at bigyan ng lakas para may pagpatuloy ang paglilingkod na tapat. Happy anniversary, Secretary Dar, and continue to push the Department of Agriculture into greater heights. Mabuhay ka. Salamat.
So maraming salamat po. Yan po. At balik na tayo sa programming at ating tatawagan na para mag-introduce kay Secretary William Dar, ang ating Chief of Staff, Ching Caballero.
Gandang umaga muli sa ating lahat. To introduce our beloved Secretary Dar, let me just count 3 firsts attributed to him. First, his love of country comes first before self. A year after he completed his post at ICRISAT, Dr. William Dar was again being offered a prestigious post overseas, but he politely declined. His call to serve the country was foremost, as he feels obliged to give back and share what he has earned and reaped back then as a young man from Ilocos Sur. With him are years of wonderful experience working with world leaders and visionaries, the likes of considered a friend and son to Abdul Kalam, the aerospace scientist, politician, and India's president in 2002 to 2007. I have personally witnessed how close he is and how the admiration encourages. He was also instrumental in bringing the American business magnate, disruptor and innovator, and philanthropist who contribute to ICRISAT's research portfolio, Mr. William Henry Bill Gates. Back to home country, Secretary Dar is leading the agency and the country's goal to achieve a food secure and resilient Philippines with profitable farmers and fisherfolk. Secretary Dar also has the second first is that, of course, he was the first Director General of ICRISAT who has served 3 full terms, 15 years straight. He has championed the adage, science with a human face, helping countries in the drylands and semi-arid tropics, leading the drive to modernize crop breeding and providing cooperatives with access to quality seeds to boost yields. He also led climate-proofing the dryland, preventing and reversing environmental degradation, and offering better technologies to diversify food diets and address hunger. In 1998, lest we forget, he championed urban agriculture, which is now the buzzword for our plant. And he has been cited in literary and scientific journals as the father of Philippine urban agriculture. He has also been awarded, as our good friend Asek Medrano recalls, 8 honoris causa, a recognition of of his exemplary contribution to the academic community. The third first in Secretary Dar's life is that he is the first secretary of the department to have led the management of a global pandemic, and in bouncing back the agriculture sector after these challenges. Notably, in the second quarter of 2020, the agricultural sector under his leadership has grown by an annual pace of 0.5%, led by crops and fisheries. Bago pa po ito, mainit-init pa na balita. He also is setting transformational changes in the sector, leading policy directions to unleash the potential of the agriculture and fisheries sector, as is supported by both our executive and legislative branches of the government. No less than the President has signified and has confirmed this support for Plan and the program that the Secretary has led over this 1-year period. Lastly, Dr. Dar speaks with compassion. These are the characteristics that is endearing to him, and even his distractors, I would hear them say, "How will you not like William Dar?" He is soft-spoken, down-to-earth, and humble. Friends, Dr. Dar brings hope, integrity, leadership, and aspiration. Or, to sum it up, I always call hila. So, hihilain niya tayo papunta sa successful overcoming this pandemic, and likewise in support to our President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's call for bayanihan, panaghiusa at pag-asa to move as one nation towards a better normal. Friends, colleagues in government, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoin you to watch the Action Man and his team at work. So let us roll on the video. Thank you.
followers lang po ng Facebook nila, mga mobile. Ito po ay ating Department of Agriculture, first year anniversary observance po ni Secretary William Dar. At welcome po sa mga nag-tune in lang po ngayon, at including Secretary Carlos Dominguez of Finance. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Secretary William Dar.
Okay. My mentor and good friend, Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez, can we give him a big round of applause? My dedicated and hardworking Department of Agriculture family, a big round of applause. Distinguished guests, fellow servant leaders, workers, and frontliners in the government, farmers, fishers, and agripreneur friends, ladies and gentlemen, maganda at masaganang umaga po sa ating lahat. On a one fine Monday morning, exactly a year ago, when I received a seemingly innocent text message, ang sabi po niya, dun sa message, where Barong attend a meeting at Malacanang. And little did I know that this message I received from Senator Bongo will change my life in a big way. That meeting turned out, to my surprise, my oath-taking before the President himself, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Can we give him our highest esteem? And thereafter, I attended my very first cabinet meeting, and just before the start of the cabinet meeting, alam niyo si Presidente ay umiikot sa table. At nung nakarating po sa akin, sabi niya, while again extending my thanks for his trust and confidence, for that, being now a second-termer Secretary of Agriculture, ang sabi po niya, alam ninyo, Doc, si Secretary Carlos Dominguez ang nag-recommend sa inyo. So again, Mr. Secretary Dominguez, marami pong salamat sa inyong tiwala. On that fateful day, I had mixed emotions. Gulat dahil inakala ko short meeting ay taking sabay-sabak sa trabaho pala. Saya dahil ito ay isang homecoming sa sektor na napakalapit sa aking puso. At kaba dahil ang naisip ko, makakaya ba ang pagkalaking responsibilidad na masigurong sapat at abot kaya ang pagkain ng higit sa 100 milyong Pilipino. When I took my oath of office a year ago, I am well aware of the broad range of issues surrounding Philippine agriculture, from the dismal growth of the sector with its measly share of the national budget and presently being a food importing country. I know for a fact that much needs to be done. In this very same hall, dito po sa Bureau of Soils and Water Management, I then declared in my acceptance speech that business as usual is no longer an option under my watch. It is my order since day one that we in the department must reboot the way we conduct things and elevate our game to achieve a food-secure Philippines with prosperous farmers and fisherfolk. Notice, my dear friends and colleagues, that I am using the words "we" in the department. No leader, however strong and intelligent, can ever achieve anything of paramount importance all alone. Sa dami ng kinakaharap, lalo ngayon, hindi kakayanin kung iisa o iilan lang pagtutulungan ang kinakailangan. At kayo, mga colleagues ko sa kagawaran, marami pong salamat sa inyong lahat. Sa umpisa pa, marami ng problema ang dumating sa ating bansa. Ang pagbaba ng palay prices, of course then mataas na presyo ng bigas, ang pagdating ng African swine fever, ang malalakas na bagyo, ang Taal volcano eruption, ang avian influenza at iba pa. Parang ang langit ay nahulog. Pero hindi tayo sumuko. At ngayon, may bago na naman tayong kinakaharap. At hindi po tayo susuko. Pwede ba tayong lahat hindi susuko? In just a few months, the earth has shockingly shifted under our feet. The COVID-19 pandemic is heavily disrupting the world as we all knew it, disturbing lives, straining economies, and impacting global food systems. COVID-19 is trying to paralyze us by fear. In fact, one scientific study has determined fear of the unknown can be more distressing than fear of serious injury or death. Millions are now dealing with the fears of what if because of this pandemic. Today, standing in front, all of you here in this hall and all over the country and even the world through the Facebook, I dare say we can and we will fight the enemy. Together, we shall rise above those fears. No pandemic can bring us down. Di ba? The indomitable Filipino spirit is known to rise up during the most challenging of times. I myself is a witness to the hard work and dedication of the women and men of the Department of Agriculture despite the situation. Inaanyayahan ko po kayong lahat na tumayo at palakpakan ninyo ang inyong mga sarili. Please rise. Saludo po ako sa inyong lahat. Marami pong salamat. In the past 5 months, you braved the COVID-19 scare to report for daily duties. Each one of you, together with our hard-working farmers and fishers and the agripreneurs, kept the food machine moving and made sure food is enough for 109 million Filipinos. Hindi ba? Ito ay ang collective achievement ng mga stakeholders sa agrikultura, kasama kayo sa kagawaran ng pagsasaka. Maraming salamat ulit. Kaya naman ngayon, masasabi kong sapat ang supply ng pagkain. May year-end stock tayo ng bigas na aabot sa 90 days, 3 buwan, mais na good for 297 days, manok para sa 182 days, at mga gulay na aabot sa 20 days. I stand proud right in front of you, knowing that as a department, we did our best. And that best must continue because the work continues. We are just halfway there. I count in each and every one of you to continuously support our plant program, being now the umbrella program of the department to further boost the production of major food commodities and achieve higher food sufficiency levels as the surefire way to ensure the country's food security. No other than the President himself, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, has strongly advocated and supported our plant program in his 5th State of the Nation address. Gusto nating pasalamatan ang ating mahal na Pangulo. Can we have the noises, round of applause for him para makarating sa Malacanang? Salamat po, Panginoon. Salamat po, aming mahal na Pangulo, sa inyong pagtitiwala. Salamat po sa inyong masigasig na pagsuporta sa sektor ng agrikultura. Makakaasa po kayo na ako at 10 ng aking mga kasama sa kagawaran na higit naming pagbubutihin ang aming sinumpaang tungkulin. Again, Mr. President, thank you for your trust and confidence. Lalo ngayon, tayo ay mas inspirado magserbisyo publiko. Just this morning, I received the news that the growth of the agriculture sector this second quarter is 0.5% despite the pandemic. Ang sarap pala yung pakiramdam na kahit ang laki na po yung problema ng bansa at ito nga mayroon pa rin positive growth ng sektor ng agrikultura. Talaga naman, Diyos ko po, maraming salamat. Work is paying off. Bida ang agrikultura. Walang palakpak yan. Bida kayo, bida ang magsasaka, bida ang mangingisda, bida po ang mga agripreneurs. At nitong nakaraang suna, mismo ang Pangulo ang nakakapansin sa hard work natin. Kaya hayaan ninyo akong ibida lalo sa inyo ang mga nakalatag na programa upang patuloy na siguruhing matatag ang pambansang agrikultura at para mas pataasin pa sa 0.5% ang growth sector ng agrikultura. Alam niyo, on my way here, sabi ng mga taga-media, Mr. Secretary, congratulations, 1 year ka na at positive naman itong growth sa second quarter. Yun bang target ninyo na 2% growth itong year na ito ay still your target? Sabi ko po naman, ang sagot ko po ay, kung may awa ang Diyos at lahat po ay tuloy-tuloy yung pagsusumikap at pagtutulong sa ating magsasaka at mangingisda at pagnenegosyo ng mga negosyante sa agrikultura ay siguro we will almost be there, 2%. Pero kung with this pandemic ako, ang hirap kaya yung 2%. So, ano po ang sagot ko sa kanila? We hope that we can still reach at least 1.5%. Kaya ba natin ito? Wala akong narinig na palakpak. Kakayanin at gagawan ng paraan na in spite of this pandemic ay tuloy-tuloy ang serbisyo na makarating dyan sa kanayunan at nakikita na natin na in spite of the problems during these last 5 months ay dahan-dahan umaangat ang sektor ng agrikultura. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, ito umpisa lang yung State of the Nation, State of Philippine Agriculture Report ko. Okay? Napapanahon na ng itaas ang suporta sa paglago ng domestic commodity industries. Let me explain that a bit. The prime and basic agricultural commodities have now to be treated as commodity industries kasi value chain na po ang ating approach. Unahin ang sariling atin. Yun ay talagang a policy na let's support domestic production of our food requirements. Ang pag-aangkat ay dapat na last resort. Nasanay na tayong umasa sa ibang bansa, ngunit dahil sa pandemya ay nakikita natin ngayon ang mabilis na pag-iiba ng mundo. Hindi pwede ang dating gawi. Kaya ang panawagan ko sa inyo at sa ating mga kababayan, mag-plant plant na. Hinihikayat ko ang bawat Pilipino na magtanim sa bakuran at sa mga sakahan. Idagdag pa ang livestock at poultry raising at iba pang fishery activities. Ang sabi nga ni Secretary Dominguez, there must be food always in the home. Faith. Marami pong salamat po, Secretary Dominguez, sa pananaw na yon. There must be food always in the home. Sa ganitong paraan, matitiyak na sapat at masustansya ang pagkain sa bawat hapag, anuman ang panahon. Malusog at malakas na pangangatawan ang sandata natin ngayon. A healthy people is a healthy country that can weather any storm. Foremost is this pandemic. Nakapaloob sa Plan program ang mga pangunahing estratehiya sa pagpapayabong at pagpapalakas ng sektor ng agrikultura. Una rito, ang modernisasyon. Pinapaigting natin ang pagsusulong at pagpapalaganap ng mga makabago at angkop na teknolohiya sa sakahan at pangisdaan para sa ating mga pangunahing butil, palay at mais, gayon din para sa high value crops, livestock, poultry at fisheries. Kabilang diyan ang pinabilis na paghahatid ng suporta sa seeds, mekanisasyon, credit at training and extension sa ilalim ng Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund na para gawing mas produktibo at makabago ang pambansang industriya ng palay. Sunod, ang farm consolidation ng maliliit na sakahan at pangisdahan. Binabalangkas na natin at mayroon ng final draft of the administrative order that I would like to finally say itong farm consolidation ay magbibigay buhay sa Farm and Fishery Consolidation at Clustering or F2C2 program. Sa pamamagitan ng F2C2 program, layunin natin na mahikayat ang maliliit na magsasaka at mangingisda na gumamit ng clustering o consolidation strategy sa kanilang produksyon, processing at marketing activities. Dito din ay with the economies of scale, the big brother, small brother partnership will now be possible. Today, I am signing this administrative order before all of you. So ito po, pirmado na ang implementing guidelines ng Farm and Fishery Consolidation at Clustering Program, F2C2 Program. Marami pong salamat sa lahat na tumulong sa pagbalangkas ng F2C2 Program under the coordination of USEC RB Becerra. Congratulations. Ikatlo, ang industrialisasyon ng agrikultura. Hinihikayat natin ng pribadong sektor na mag-invest. Kung may plant tayo, dapat mayroon din invest na galing sa pribadong sektor para sa pagkain ng bansa. Kailangan natin ng pribadong sektor na mamumuhunan at mangunguna sa investments sa iba't ibang sektor dito sa agrikultura. pagnenegosyo ang susi para makamtan ang mas malaking kontribusyon ng agrikultura sa bansa. Kayo ang aming katuwang pagdating sa pag-produce ng sapat na pagkain. Isang masigabong palakpakan ang para sa inyong lahat. Kasama din sa industrialisasyon ang ating pagsisikap na mapalawak ang digitalization ng sektor ng sakahan at pangisdahan. Digital agriculture is the way forward. Kaya gamit ang mga makabagong teknolohiya kagaya ng big data centralization or data lake at precision farming para sa mas mabilis at matalinong desisyon sa pagpapatupad ng ating mga programa. Puspusan din ang updating ng ating Farmers and Fisherfolk Registry System, RSBSA, upang lubos na itong magamit sa paghatid ng angkop at napapanahong tulong at programa. Idagdag po natin ang agro-industrial business corridors na sisimulan natin sa New Clark City at magsilbing tahanan ng modern agribusiness connected with the production areas in the countryside. At dito mayroon tayong itatayo na National Seed Technology Park. Ikaapat, ang export development. Mas sistematiko at pinag-isipan natin ang estratehiya sa development at promotions ng ating agricultural products sa loob at labas ng bansa. Patuloy din ang ating pagsisikap na makapagbigay ng angkop at napapanahong suporta sa pulisya upang makahikayat ng masiglang kalakalan at karagdagang pamuhunan sa sektor. Ikalima, ang pagpapalakas sa programa ng infrastruktura. Kasama na ang iba pang ahensya ng pamahalaan at local government units, tuloy-tuloy ang ating pagsisikap na mapabilis ang pagpapatayo ng dekalidad at cost-efficient na green infrastructure sa kanayunan kagaya ng post-harvest facilities, tooling, processing, and marketing facilities at iba pa. Kaugnay niyan, atin nang nilalatag ang isang programa sa food markets at food logistics. The concept of the food terminal na magkokonekta sa regional at provincial trading posts and production areas sa kanayunan tungong urban food terminals at large-scale farm markets. At katuwang ang iba pang ahensya ng pamahalaan at pribadong sektor, hangad natin pabilisin at paghusayin ang paghatid ng mga produkto sa merkado dito man o sa labas ng bansa. Ika-anim, mas mataas na budget at pamumuhunan sa sektor ng sakahan at pangisdaan. Aminado po tayo na sa matagal na panahon, hindi naging sapat ang naibigay na suporta sa sektor ng agrikultura. Ngayon, sa pamumuno ng Pangulong Duterte, hawak natin ang pagkakataon upang isulong ang mas malaking budget para sa sektor ng sakahan, alinsunod sa ambag nito sa ekonomiya na umaabot sa 9% ng GDP. At sana po ang ating mentor at kaibigan, Finance Secretary Carlos Dominguez, will help us get the significant increase of budget for next year. Alam ninyo, sa next year, on top of the stimulus package na 66 billion for the sector, we are asking about 200 billion pesos. Ikapito, magipagtulungan sa sangay ng lehislatibo. Lahat ng insentibo na pwede nating gawin para sa sektor ng agrikultura at pagnenegosyo sa agrikultura at sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda ay ilalakad natin sa Kongreso. Layunin nating may sa batas at ma-institutionalize ang mga nararapat na suporta para sa sektor. Kabilang na po sa ating pinakabagong tagumpay ang pagsuporta ng Kongreso at sa ating mahal na Pangulo ng 66 billion pesos na stimulus fund na ilang buwan na nating sinisulong. Layunin ng pundong ito na matiyak ang mas mataas na food sufficiency level sa gitna ng kasalukuyang pandemya. At panghuli ang roadmap development. Marapat lamang na ang lahat ng ating pagsisikap ay nakasandig sa malinaw na plano at targets. Kaya naman, patuloy ang ating paala sa lahat, particular sa ating banner programs, na magbalangkas at magpapatupad ng mga strategic commodity industries and roadmaps na nakabatay sa ating adhikain ng masaganang ani at mataas na kita. Kasama natin dito ang pribadong sektor at iba't ibang stakeholders sa agrikultura. Sila po ay talagang partners in developing and growing the sector of agriculture. Sa pagtutulungan, marami na po tayong nagawa at marami pa tayong gagawin. I call upon those in the DA family to come more actively, participate in this effort to be a food secure country. Let us bring the best in us during the worst of times like this pandemic. We can be the solutions to problems of hunger and malnutrition. Together we shall succeed in stamping out hunger as we pursue the different strategies under the Plant umbrella program. Kay sarap sa pakiramdam kung walang Pilipinong nagugutom, kung ang bawat tahanan ay may sapat at masustansyang pagkain sa kanilang hapag. My dear friends, at the end of long day's work, when I'm left alone in my room, I make time to pause and reflect. Every night, I think of what specific legacy do I want to leave behind. I am at this point in life where I am beyond the numbers in Lotto, but still within the bingo. In my decades long of existence, did I make my life useful? What difference have I made in other people's lives? As I contemplate those questions, I am reminded of what most important to me, what is most important to me, working hard, trailblazing, innovating, reaching goals, a person who constantly values learning and lifting others up. As in the words of the great man, that is Jose Rizal. And I quote, "It is a useless life that is not consecrated to a great ideal. It is like a stone wasted on the field without becoming a part of any edifice," unquote. A great example of a life well lived, one that excelled and shines brightly to this day. Sana ganoon din ang sa akin kahit sa maliit at sarili kong paraan. My dear friends, I count on you to illuminate the spirit of optimism and positivity to win this war against COVID-19 pandemic. Let me repeat, I count on you to illuminate the spirit of optimism and positivity to win this war against COVID-19 pandemic. Let us all be the steering examples and inspiration to others, especially during these times. We are fighting this to ensure the food security of the country, the future millions of Filipino people. I am confident that our race shall stand proud and jubilant once again as we emerge from this pandemic stronger than before. Magpakatatag tayo. Kahit anong mangyari, babangon ng Pilipino. Huwag tayo susuko sa pandemya. Labanan po natin ito. Sa sektor ng agrikultura, ipaglaban natin ang pagtatanim at pangingisda para maging masagana ang ating ani at tataas na rin ang ating at kanilang kita. Isusulong natin ang pagnanegosyo sa agrikultura at hihikayatin natin ang mga kabataan para bumalik na sa agrikultura at pagnenegosyo. May pag-asa pa na babangon ang ating bansa. May pag-asa na babangon ang ating ekonomiya. May pag-asa na babangon muli ang agrikultura at may angat ang buhay ng mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Marami pong salamat. God bless us all.
Secretary William Dar. Sa puntong ito ay papakilala ko naman ang ating guest of honor and speaker who made his initial marks managing a banana plantation in Davao, thereafter the former Bank of Philippine Islands Agricultural Bank. He had a rare distinction when the late President Cory Aquino appointed him in 2 cabinet positions in a span of less than a year, between late 1986 and early 1987, first as DNR Secretary and a few months later as DA Secretary. As DA Secretary, he implemented Executive Order 116 that reorganized the Department of Agriculture. Yun po yung dati Ministry of Agriculture at DA Department of Agriculture. Pinag-isa na po lahat ng mga bureaus noon under the DA umbrella. And then under his watch, he introduced reforms in the rural credit system and established the Comprehensive Agricultural Loan Fund, or CAF. In 1988, he launched the Livelihood Enhancement for Agricultural Development, or LEAD program, to speed up the farmers' organizations' access to financing, management expertise, and marketing. Under his watch, agriculture and fishery councils were set up at the sectoral, regional, provincial, and municipal levels to provide inputs on major programs and policy decisions and help plan and monitor DA projects. In all, he has 40 years of experience managing various organizations in the public and private sectors. Notably, he was past president of the Philippine Airlines and the Philippine Associate Smelting and Refining Corporation. He has a master's degree in business administration from Ateneo de Manila University and attended executive management program at Stanford University. On the lighter side, kayo po, kung napasyal sa Davao in normal times and happen to visit yung magandang lugar doon sa Mindanao, one or the other, you may have chance upon and stayed at their family-owned hotel, yung Marco Polo po. Yun po. So again, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, our former boss and Finance Secretary, Carlos Garcia Dominguez.
Bureaus, corporations, men and women of the Department of Agriculture, good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to participate in this significant event, marking the first year of Secretary William Dar in the government service and his first year in the cabinet of President Duterte. I well appreciated Secretary Dar for his solid grasp of realities of our agriculture sector, as well as his clear vision of where it should go. Secretary Dar has ably presided over the Department of Agriculture during critical challenges. He has kept the agriculture fever at bay and the outbreak of avian flu controlled and eliminated. Its capable and systematic handling of these and other significant issues, we face the COVID-19 pandemic with renewed strength on the food security front. We are fortunate that when the pandemic hit our country, some of the reforms Secretary Dar introduced had already taken root. Much of these measures relate to the building of productivity and enhancing the resiliency of our agriculture sector. Despite some weaknesses in our logistics system and the rush of some local governments to seal borders where community quarantines had to be imposed, a food crisis did not happen. No food riots and hoarding of supplies broke out. The continuous flow of food from our farms to our consumers is one of the bright spots in our response to this pandemic. The Department of Finance is proud to have worked with the Department of Agriculture on securing our access to affordable food. The DOF was able to secure a commitment from the government of Vietnam to keep our rice imports moving. Vietnam lived up to that commitment, even as it initially imposed export restrictions after its farms suffered from a prolonged drought. Beyond assuring that there would be no food shortages, the Department of Agriculture was also able to keep food prices broadly stable, with some price fluctuations reflecting increased logistics costs. This is one of the major reasons we succeeded in keeping the inflation rate low during this health emergency. The price of rice also remained under control, mainly due to the passage of the rice tariffication law. On the average, today's Filipino consumer already enjoys a reduction in the price of rice of about 8 pesos per kilo from its peak in 2018. This is particularly helpful for low-income households that spend a fifth of their budgets on rice alone. Filipino consumers also have a variety of choices now under a liberalized price trading regime. During the first half of this year, the RCEP, or Rice Competitive Enhancement Fund, collections have already reached the 10 billion peso minimum earmark. The funds will translate into subsidies for our farmers to improve their yields and mechanize their farms, especially in the 57 priority provinces identified as having the potential to be globally competitive. The shift to a tariff-based system is not just working to the benefit both of consumers and our farmers. It will also power a revolution in our agriculture. Meanwhile, the plant program spearheaded by Secretary Dar will also further reinforce the nation's food security by helping boost yields and improving on our distribution systems. We will soon achieve adequate supply in our most basic crops that our people need. Moving forward, we need to continue ensuring that there will be no disruptions in food production. We hope the gains in productivity in the rice sector could be extended to some plantation crops, particularly sugar, where our trade restrictions preserved inefficiencies in our domestic production. The sugar industry still operates within a 70-year-old production sharing mechanism designed in the 1950s. This mechanism dictates how much final sugar output millers and planters get. This arrangement is problematic because it limits the incentives for sugar millers to upgrade their technology and improve their milling efficiency. Whatever output increases obtained through milling efficiency will have to be divided with the planters, even if such efficiency comes from the miller's efforts alone. The same is true for the planter, who has to divide any added return due to farm efficiency with the miller. Domestic industries such as food manufacturing that rely on cheap and stable sugar supply are also constrained by onerous and complicated import restrictions on volumes, category, and type of sugar, as well as the eligibility of the importer. We also need to study ways to improve the welfare of sugar workers, small landowners, planters, millers, and other domestic industries without restraining growth in other equally important sectors of our society, such as food processing. Protectionism and heavy regulation have not promoted efficiency in local sugar production and instead come at the expense of the Filipino consumer. Meanwhile, when the lockdowns were at their most restrictive, we saw spontaneous responses that directly link farmers to our consumers. These responses underscore the need to further digitalize our agriculture systems. The more direct the link between the farmer and the consumer, the less non-value adding middlemen and processes will there be. As a result, the price structure will return more value to both consumer and the producer. The more we digitalize, the less we will also need physical stores for our agricultural products. The asymmetries between supply and demand result in food waste, reduced value for both producer and consumer, and deterioration in food quality by the time it reaches the end user. The expanded market access, reduced logistics and storage costs, that digitalization allows will make agriculture more rewarding for our farmers and agri-entrepreneurs. Digital marketing will also support our efforts to boost consumer spending, as it allows consumers to access fresh produce without having to congregate in traditionally crowded public markets. It also provides the transport sector, which has shifted to doing deliveries with much needed business. Further, new technologies can help predict weather patterns, which would make an appropriate basis for the planting calendar. These technologies will also help identify climate-determined comparative advantages in terms of crops. I strongly agree with Secretary Dar that the only way our agriculture will be competitive is to increasingly mechanize our farm systems. This is why mechanization is the largest component of the RCEP for a reason. This will reduce the spillage and spoilage that force up prices of our agricultural produce. As we have seen with many expensive programs in the past, not all problems can be solved by throwing money at them. The need to be efficient is especially more pronounced during this pandemic, when we need to preserve government resources for what could be a long struggle with the virus and its adverse economic impacts. As we continue to face the pandemic, we encourage the Department of Agriculture and other agencies to work with increased efficiency to deliver the best results for the Filipino families within their budgets. There are some actions that the agency could take that would improve efficiency in program delivery and complement the whole government's efforts to serve the agriculture sector. This includes completing the registry of farmers as soon as possible to have a more solid basis for policy formulation, especially in designing programs for the farming sector. Accurate estimating of the optimal rice buffer stock is also a must to reduce unnecessary cost and spoilage due to overstocking. More importantly, the Department of Agriculture should also focus its research efforts on developing new farming technologies. Finally, I leave this challenge to Secretary Dar and the Department of Agriculture. You must fulfill the target of an annual growth rate of at least 2% for the agriculture sector. This is needed to keep ahead of the country's annual population growth rate, which is estimated to be around 1.4% in 2019, based on the Philippine Statistics Authority data. The steady growth of our agriculture sector is crucial to achieving stable food prices for all Filipinos. On our part, we will support the unlocking of more financing for the agriculture sector by proposing amendments to the Agri-Agra Reform Act. These amendments will provide more access to credit for the entire agricultural value chain. A thriving agribusiness sector will enable farmers to earn more income from their produce. I look forward to more progressive steps being taken to modernize our agriculture sector. I have a great confidence that Secretary Dar and his team will bring us to where we need to be. Thank you.
Again, Secretary Carlos Dominguez. Maraming salamat po, Secretary. Sir, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so again, ladies and gentlemen, magandang senyales ito po. Sabi niya po, basahin ko na po. Bibigay ko rin po sa inyo yung kopya ng speech ng Secretary Dominguez later, pero sabi niya, Napakaganda po. A thriving agribusiness sector will enable farmers to earn more income from their produce. Lagi po natin sinasabi yan. At I look forward to more progressive steps being taken to modernize our agriculture sector. I have great confidence in Secretary Dar and his team. And they will bring us to where we need to be. Again, maraming salamat. Tunghayan po natin itong the way forward. Ito pong dapat nating isa sa mga maraming dapat gawin sa mga natitirang taon ng Duterte administration. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch. So, sa mga susunod na araw, linggo at buwan, yan po ang ating tatahakin at bibigyan natin ng laman. Karamihan po nito ay may laman na, actually. So again, para sa ating closing remarks, at ating tawagan ang ating kasama, ang ating kabsat, Undersecretary for Policy and Planning, Yusek RV Becerra.
Magandang tanghali po sa lahat. Alam po ninyo, ito sa buong nakaraang taon natin, ang unang taon po ng ating mahal na Secretary William Dar sa pamumuno sa ating Departamento ng Agrikultura. Napakarami pong mga challenges at pagsubok na dumaan sa sektor. Subalit, tuloy-tuloy po ang pagkakaroon natin ng confidence sa ating mga kasamahan, sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Throughout all of these challenges, mayroon po tayong isang leader na siyang tuloy-tuloy na gumagabay. At maganda po yung mga patakaran at mga direksyon, mga pulisiya na kanya na pong nasimulan. Kanya po napaka-inspiring para sa atin dito po sa Kagawaran. 10 po ng aking mga kasama dito ng ating direksyon para sa pagpapaunlad ng ating agrikultura sa pamamagitan po ng 8 paradigms at ng plant ay tuloy-tuloy nating maigiya at matulungan ang ating sektor. At sana po sa atin pong pagtutulong-tulungan at pagsuporta po sa leadership ng ating mahal na sekretary, matulungan po natin ng tuloy-tuloy ang ating sektor at mga magsasaka at mangingisda. So, I am confident, we are all confident that throughout this crisis na dinadaanan po ng ating ekonomiya, ng ating bansa, meron tayong isang leader na namumunong maitawid ang ating sektor para sa mas masaganang ani at mataas na kita para sa lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. Meron po tayong bago magtapos, may konti tayong tinatawagan po natin Secretary William Dar dito sa stage. Sir, may konting symbolic lang po. Sir? Okay, kanta na tayo. Ito po. Let's join in singing. Video please. Sabayan niyo po kami.
Ito ng bagong pananaw sa produksyon, malakas ang kooperasyon. Katuwang ng mga magsasaka, pamahalaan at pribadong sektor. Dadagdagan ang kaalaman sa kabuhayan, sa negosyo, pahusayin ang kakayahan. Ang pagbabagong teknolohiya, subsidyo, pagtubig at infrastruktura. Siguradong pagkain sa buong bansa. Masaganang ani, mataas na kita. Maunlad na buhay ng mga magsasaka. Sa produksyon, malakas ang kooperasyon. Katuwang ng mga magsasaka, pamahalaan at pribadong sektor. Dadagdagan ang kaalaman sa kabuhayan. Sa negosyo, pahuhusayin ang kakayahan. Angkop at bagong teknolohiya, subsidyo, patubig at infrastruktura. Siguradong pagkain sa buong bansa. Masaganang ani, mataas na kita. Maunlad na buhay ng mga magsasaka at mga mangingisda. Siguradong pagkain sa buong bansa. Masaganang ani, mataas na kita. Maunlad na buhay ng mga magsasaka at mga mangingisda. Siguradong pagkain sa buong bansa. Masaganang ani, mataas na kita. Maunlad na buhay ng mga magsasaka